Hi, my name is Doug Jack, and this is my wife DEANNA. We're here today to talk to you about an exciting new innovation that we have developed and are about to introduce into the equestrian horse market. Research shows that there's an estimated 10.2 million horses in the US and Canada, and that these horses consume approximately $1 billion worth of feed every year. It's a substantial amount of money. Research also tells us from the American Horse Council and the Canadian Equine Federation also tell us that about 25% is wasted in overfeeding. Most horses will consume about 25% more than they really require. About 25% is usually trod upon on the ground, is wasted with the elements. So adding up to a total of approximately 50%, this is a very substantial amount of money. So before we tell you what we have to offer, we're going to take a look at some examples of the way people are feeding right now and what they've been doing for years, and we'll get back to you in just a minute. Boy, from what we just saw of that, I'm sure glad those days are over. We've been there, done that. We know what that's like. So what we'd like to do is offer you the answer to what you just seen and to other horse-related feeding problems. So without any further ado, we're going to introduce to you right now the Jackson's Feed Systems Model 9 Automated Horse Feeder. We've had a look at the Jackson Model 9 feeder. I'm going to explain to you how it works and how you'll use it. You'll notice here that there's basically a rectangular shed device. It has a roof on it. As you can see, it's keeping the snow out of the feed, keeps the rain out. The unit sits on a treated wood base. It's got steel runners that you can't see here in the snow, but it's got lifting eyes and tow hooks here for hooking onto it with a pickup or a tractor. You can pull it around your barnyard and your paddock system. The unit weighs approximately 1,200 pounds. The horses aren't going to be able to move it very easy. Now what we're going to do is show you how to load it. People have always wanted to know, how do you put feed into this? Real simple. We'll pull a pin here, we grab the whole door assembly, and we will swing it open like this. Then you'll take your tractor or your pickup or whatever you're doing with your hay. You're going to drive up here. You're going to put the bale in, or unload the bales of hay, or the square bales of hay, or loose hay, whatever you want to do. I'd like to point out the door system on the Model 9 feeder. You'll notice that it is able to go up and down, and it rolls in a track system. It has rollers on either end of the door. There's 4 of them all together. It's activated by this air ram that is controlled by the control system that we'll talk about later. And as this air ram extends, this door is able to go up or down. And you'll notice that the door is very gentle in the sense that a horse can hold it down with his head, but it makes them very uncomfortable, and it puts pressure on them, and it will back the horse out of the feeder. One of the beauties of this system is that if any kind of a child or if a young horse or anything were to get caught up in this door, it would not do any damage to them, because it can be, as you can see, it can be brought down with very gentle pressure. The other beauty of this type of system is that it has a built-in load sensing, in the sense, like I just explained, that if a horse was to hold it down, it'll stay there until they move their head and it'll move up. The other feature of it is that if something happened to the control system, if something happened to this air ram, this door would fall. If you were away for the weekend or away for the evening, you don't have to worry about your horses being shut out of their feed. If anything happens, these doors will come down, they will feed. So now we'll close the door. Okay, now we're at the control system, which is the heart of the Jackson feeder. So we'll just open this up. And you'll notice in here an array of switches and compressors and batteries and all kinds of things. And first of all, as you can see, there is a battery, there is a compressor. This big black unit here is a custom air dryer. That is the heart of this system. It keeps the air dry. It will not freeze up in the wintertime. We have run this thing, and this machine has been in operation continuously for about 7 months. We've had absolutely no wintertime freeze-up problems with it at all. We have various relays, inverters, pressure switches. This is the other part of the system. This is the 24-hour-a-day timer. With this, you set the times a day that you want your horses to feed and for how long you want them to feed. For example, we have this particular one, we have it set up for our horses to feed 3 times a day, at 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 1 o'clock in the morning for an hour and 15 minutes each, which we find for our horses works perfectly. They are in great shape. We are saving a whole pile of money on our feed cost and our savings of time and effort. That is the heart of that. The whole system is designed to be fail-safe. If anything goes wrong with it, the doors will automatically come down. The horses are able to feed. They'll never be shut out of their feed. This unit can operate on solar power or 110 volt. This particular one is running on 110 volt. It can be easily made to be totally standalone, to be out in the pasture, out in a remote setting. As you can hear right now, the compressor just came on. And what it's going to do is it's going to pressure the system back up to about 90 pounds to hold the doors up and hold everything up. We'll just show that right now. So I will point out one more thing. There's a switch here that I will demonstrate. What you're hearing is the sound of the air exhausting out of the system. The doors will drop, as you can see, so that you can manually let those doors down for feeding at any time you want. So you can get rid of that, and we're back to this. So that's a quick overview of the control system of the Jackson feeder. It is totally fail-safe, operate on 110 volt or 12 volt, can be used in a remote setting, and we'll just close this, and that pretty well completes that. Once again, I'll point out that the gentleness and the slowness of the doors, they go up very gently. That's fully adjustable to how fast you want them to go up or how fast you want them to drop down. Very safe, very firm, very gentle. Notice there's no neck bars on any of these doors, so there's no rubbing out of their manes. You don't have to worry for the show horse people out there about having mane hairs all over the place. You'll notice the control box here, chew-proof, all steel reinforced. Now that we've had a look at the Jackson Model 9 feeder system, we'd like to just thank everybody for spending the time to watch this DVD. We've had this unit in operation for about 7 months. This has been a wonderful thing for us. We've been working people ourselves. We know what it's like getting up in the morning and getting out there and feeding horses. We've mainly found that it's just freed up our time so much that they're able to do other things, that we've got a big reduction in feed costs, and our wastage has been reduced virtually to zero. And I might point out too that the amount of money that you can save, which is up to 50% in our feed costs. Personally, we're running about 50% ourselves with our 2 horses. That you can, with today's interest rates and the consumer financing the way it is, that anyone who is interested in buying a Jackson feeder, well, if they have 3 or more horses, this unit, the way it stands, would pay for itself. So maybe you'd like to add something and we'll say goodbye.
The main benefit that I found for myself, aside from the monetary gain of feed cost savings, is time savings. I've said that before and I'll say it again. It's been huge. It's really freed up my time to enjoy my horses. I don't have to spend the time in the daytime doing chores. I can go out in the evenings after work if I want to, not worrying about whether my horses are fed, because they are. They are healthier, in better shape than they've ever been, and we have not hand-fed them since August. So it's been a great time saver and just a really great benefit to my horses all around.
So anyway, thank you all for taking the time to watch this, and we hope to see you in the future. Goodbye.